Are you not getting to your important work because clutter is getting in your way? You need a clear mind. I certainly need a clear mind and a clear space to create what's really important to me. And there are lots of kinds of clutter that can stop us from that.
Exactly. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand what kind of clutter bug, as we're calling it, that you are and how to solve it, and how clutter weighs us down, and one simple habit that you can use that can actually reduce clutter forever. Hi, I'm Sally, and I'm here with my big sister Dana.
Hi. I'm glad we're talking about clutter. I know it's not the deepest subject. I will admit that right now, but it's an important one because if you're like me, clutter can like get out of control and it starts to really weigh you down. Like for me, if clutter, this happened recently to me, so this is why we want to talk about it. When clutter gets too much, it starts to just kind of wear on you and it has that real heavy energy to it. At least it does over time. Like I can take it, I can hack it for a while, but then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, "I cannot live like this anymore," you know?
Yeah, exactly, and it's hard it's hard to get to the important things we wanna do in our life if we have, like, a cluttered area, a cluttered desk. I know when my I can work with around a certain amount of clutter to a point, and then it is like a tipping point, and it feels like it just drains me to have it in my life, and we were talking about this off camera, and we were like, "You know what? We're not the only people over 50 who have habits around clutter," and I
Yeah.
think that this is a topic that everybody can relate to and figure out if, how this affects them and how it
Yeah.
affects us. Yeah.
Yeah, how does it affect you? And also, it can be a great way to procrastinate.
Yeah.
What is Stephen Pressfield talks about in his, book, The Art of War no, The War of Art, talks about whatever is important to us, we resist, we procrastinate. We have to really be diligent about sitting down to things, getting to work in a scheduled way, and if our physical environment is not supporting that, it can be a way to procrastinate and not get to what's important, and we are here to help you get to what's important.
That's right. Because we say that when we're over 50, there is an urgency. There is, there's not, infinite amount of time to get on to what's
What?
important. And
What?
I know, I hate to tell you, but clutter is one of those things that can derail us and distract us and keep us from getting to what we say and what we feel is really important in our life. And that's why it's something to tackle today.
Yeah, absolutely, and it also can just be avoidance, an irritant, a habit, and it feels overwhelming, so I can't do that. You can do that. You
Yeah.
can, and I think we start by saying, take your clutter seriously because it's messing with you,
Yeah.
and there are a couple
Two.
of kinds of clutter. Well, there's several kinds, but we're going to talk
Yeah.
about 2 types of clutter today. One is physical clutter,
And
like
one
my
is
desk, and one is digital
digital
clutter.
clutter.
Digital, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's when we talk about clutter bugs, we said that at the beginning, is that we identified the fact that, Dana, you are more of a physical clutter person, that that's something you have to really work at consciously, and
Yeah.
that my area where I can be much more cluttered is with my digital life, with my email, with text, with sorting everything into the Google Drive, into, the different folders and all of that kind of stuff that I can let that get really messy, and you're
Wait,
much
wait,
better at that.
wait, can we clarify this?
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It is terrifying to look at your phone, and our mother's phone, by the way. Do you know I looked at her phone one time, and she had, like, 40,000 unopened emails?
Yeah.
40,000, and then I
I
looked
don't
at
think
your phone, and yours wasn't much better.
it wasn't much better, although I have gotten better, because after talking with you about clutter, I really have worked on that. But, it doesn't seem to bother certain people, but I still think that is for me, I know that I act like it doesn't bother me, but I do think it has a draining effect on me
Yeah.
when I'm digitally, like, when everything's just everywhere and you can't find things on your desktop or in the folder or the email that you need or that, to go back to a text message. So that is the area that I know I have to double down on and
Be
um,
conscious
y
of it, yeah.
be really conscious of what I'm doing. And what about you with the physical?
Oh, well, it just gets to that breaking point, where I'm
Yeah.
just like, I can live with it, live with it, live with it, live with it until I cannot. I have to change out winter, summer clothes. Yes, we do have winters somewhat, kind of, in Los Angeles,
A little
and
bit.
a little bit. And it was just like everything it was awful. It was just, I could not find anything. That's the thing when you can't find anything. And
Mhm.
so I literally spent a day and I did it and I was so happy. I have to tell you, I just couldn't even work anymore. It was driving me so crazy. So if you can relate to that, which you probably some of you probably can, it's like just get to it. It's not going to kill you. I think for me, I just would be like, I can't do this. This is too much. But you can, and there are ways
Uh-huh.
to do it.
And
For me, I had to schedule it.
right, and at first it can feel overwhelming, like it's just too big of a project. So
Yeah.
that's why it really is important to get to the solutions of how do we deal with our clutter.
Yeah,
So
schedule it.
you
I
scheduled
say
it.
put on music, take
Yeah,
one section at a time, because I have a few other things I need to do too, but I said, "No, this is it. I'm doing this
yeah,
one thing." And that will do it. You like to go
yeah.
all Marie Kondo when you do
Well,
stuff like
yeah, I
this.
mean, for me, when I clean something out, I take it all out. Like if it's a closet or if it's just a junk drawer, it's all coming out. And then I got to consciously decide what goes back in. Now, I have also had that where I've looked at it and I'm like, I don't know. So I just shove it back in there. That has come up. But usually, if I take it all out, then I'm more likely, and you would be too. I mean, anybody, once you take it out, is easier to go, okay, have I ever used this? um, highlighter, or maybe I have, but it doesn't work anymore. And
It doesn't
so
work anymore.
do I need to put it back in the drawer? No, it goes in the trash. And so you deliberately put back in the drawer what actually you'll use or what you need, and you throw out the other stuff that you will never use or give away the stuff you'll never use.
I have never asked you this. I should
Yeah.
know. How do your drawer what do your drawers look like?
They do not look like grannies. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
I really do have very organized drawers. I have a couple of what I call junk drawers that I kind of allow to be junky, but for the most part, my drawers are pretty organized. And I say not like grannies because
Well, our grandmother, God bless her, she would have I mean, she would had the most immaculate place ever, but then if you open one of those drawers,
or
and mom
closet,
mom is the same. Mom
yeah,
our mother is exactly the same, like, everything looks good on the surface, just don't open a drawer, man.
that's
So,
right.
you
Hey,
have your different things that you get you have your different kind of clutter habit.
the more you don't deal with it, that's why we need these solutions because they can get kind of out of hand. So those are some great ways to do it, to pull everything out, to schedule it.
I wanna say what happened after I decluttered this closet that was driving me crazy. I felt so much better. I felt so much better. I mean, there was a
Yeah,
reason, and I felt like, "Oh," and some work opened up. I was able to get some ideas again. I mean, it was really interesting that it had this effect on my writing
yeah,
that was positive, absolutely. But here's the other thing, if sometimes people need clutter to kinda make them feel protected. So you need to look out for that too. You might declutter something and do a great job, and then you look at it instead of feeling good, you might feel uncomfortable or
yeah.
anxious. Like this feels
Because
weird.
yeah, that's clutter serves some kind of purpose in distracting you or from keeping you from something. Like
Yeah,
I like
or you
yeah,
may have grown up in a really cluttered home, and so to be
yeah,
really clean doesn't feel right. So it's
yeah,
important to take note of how the clutter makes you feel, but also
yeah,
how decluttering makes you feel, how a clean slate or a clean deck makes you feel, because
yeah.
it may surprise you.
Yeah. There may be a reason that you keep the clutter around you. And it's important to kind of dig into that and figure out like what purpose might this be serving for me? In what way is it keeping me safe? And that might seem like a strange question to ask, but meaning that if I have the clutter, it means maybe I'm not dealing with something else.
Yeah.
That the clutter keeps me from something. So it's kind of a deeper issue to look at of
Which you
what
can
that can serve. Yeah.
journal on, maybe look at
Yeah.
your past, what was it like in
Yeah.
your family home, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, look at those things because they're not unrelated, they're definitely related. But I wanna say
Right.
also one warning
Yeah.
is that do this consciously because also decluttering can be a way to avoid other things. Like, you can just declutter all the time, clean out closets all the time and not get to work either. So, find a balance.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, I think from the first thing is actually schedule a time so that you're not just using, oh, I'm going to go declutter when you really need to be working on your important project. So make it a
Right.
scheduled, definite time of this is when I'm going to do it. Um,
Excellent.
and so one of the things that we said we were going to address from the get go was the important step so that you don't have to deal with clutter, which is to have a system so that as soon as things come into your life, that they don't stack up, that they don't become a clutter issue. And this is something that I really have worked at, which is giving everything a home so that it actually comes in and either it goes to its file cabinet or to its place on my desk or to the trash can. And so it doesn't, we don't deal with temporary homes for all this stuff that can become unmanageable.
Or permanent homes.
Oh, or you mean by default, permanent
Yes, by
homes.
default,
Yeah.
permanent homes,
Yeah,
exactly,
like
that
just
you don't want.
a huge stack. And
I've gotten better at that with mail. Mail, I'm
yeah,
good at
well,
that way.
you were good at that?
Yeah.
Well, I am not. Like, I really feel like I struggle with mail, and so I know that. So that's my husband's job, that's Graham's job. So when the mail comes in, I'm like, "You deal with it." And because he is good at that. And so, because what sometimes what will happen to me is like I'll get like a big sheet of Dairy Queen, let's say coupons, and I'll think, "Oh, I really might need to go to Dairy Queen," and I'll keep them for like a month until they expire. And he's like, "No, you don't go to Dairy Queen," and he'll just take it and he'll throw it away. And I'm like, "He's right," because I just want to think I might use it one day.
Might.
I might.
You do like a coupon. But you
I
know what,
do like
last time
I
la
do like a
you do
coupon.
like a coupon. Um, when I was home last, I went to Dairy Queen. Did you know that?
I didn't go with you. Who'd you go to
No,
Dairy
I
Queen
went to Dairy
with?
Queen, and I was so excited. I don't know, who did I go with? I don't know why I went to Dairy Queen. I think Pete and I went to Dairy Queen, and I was so excited about it because I was gonna get a Dairy Q sandwich. Do you know
Uh,
what? A DQ
what?
sandwich. They don't have them anymore.
I didn't know that.
I
But
I'm I was very upset about that. I thought, what has happened in the 20 some odd years since I've been to Dairy Queen? What
oh,
has
that's funny.
happened?" Anyway, it was a
Uh,
big letdown. Uh,
okay. Well, that's
there you
very
go.
much a sidebar, but, you know what? That I mean, these things happen, but I think that's a great example, though, of how we think. I don't know if you have things like that in your life that you think, "Oh, I might use this one day," and you
Oh, yeah.
think, or the shirt you haven't worn in 5 years, and you think, "Oh, but I might wear it." You're like, "No, you're not gonna wear the shirt," you know?
No.
So getting real with yourself and maybe even getting like, I know, like, knowing where your weaknesses are and having somebody else help you, like, if I know the mail is a weakness for me, like, if you can give that task to someone else, or if you're cleaning out a closet, get a buddy, get somebody who's actually going to make you get real with yourself
You know, it
and
is
ask you
so
the
much
question.
easier to clean out other people's shit than
Oh,
your
yeah.
own.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it really is so much
Yeah.
easier because, I can go in there in your closet and I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. But your
Yeah.
own thing or your phone, I could do your phone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But your own stuff is more challenging. So whatever kind of support you need, get it. Because there's
Yeah,
somebody in
but
your life who's good at something that you're not good at, and that's life, and that's okay.
so how do you make, dealing with your clutter a positive habit?
Yeah.
So, because we may have some really negative habits around it. So, consciously creating some new habits around how you deal with it. And it can be like we talked about the important things of how you don't allow clutter to stack up by dealing with it immediately, and then some habits about how you deal with the clutter that may already be in your life.
Yeah.
Both.
And the
Yeah.
only reason we're saying it, because I don't care if you live like in a pile of clutter.
Yeah.
I care about it for you. That because we want to be the people to help you move forward and to get, as we say over and over, to what's important and the way that you feel and how you want to move forward and who you want to be in this act of your life. You're the one who claims that. You're the one who establishes that. Nobody else. You're the one who makes the rules for you.
Like you said earlier that we really typically talk about things that maybe are a little deeper, but we're addressing this because we realize that clutter is a real issue. It is part of what can keep us stuck from moving on to what's important to us, especially over 50. We don't want to use this as a way to distract us or to keep us from moving forward when it's this time that's so important for us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put in the comments what I'm going to declutter next, how I'm going to schedule it, and so I won't do it during time that is not for that. And so
Oh,
I
and I
hope you
guess
will too. You do
yeah,
it
maybe
too.
I'll actually clean off my desktop and, like, get it all organized and
Oh,
put it
that would
places
be.
or take it to the trash.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a big one.
Let's walk the talk. And if you
Okay.
are listening, watching, let us know what are your problem areas that you would like to establish a different kind of habit, a different kind of relationship with. And if you are even brave enough or have us can find out what it's about,
Yeah.
That's even better because once you figure out like why do I resist this? Is it just because I don't want to get to important things or is it just because my mother was like that? I mean,
Yeah.
both those things are valid. And once you
Yeah.
start to see these things, you don't have to keep living in the same way.
Well said, sister. All
Thank
right. Well,
you.
yeah. And so let's next time we're going to talk about another kind of clutter, which is really important too, which is mental clutter.
And there's going to come a tap with the next one. So look for that. And we are also, I wanted to say real quickly, we are building tapping videos on our channel. So if you want to start checking those out, please do. I think they'll be very helpful.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.